Very good morning to everyone. So today we are here to discuss something that we have spoken in the past, which is about which actually impacts every business. Every enterprise deals with it, but not many talk about it in the open. So we are going to talk about document processing today. So when it comes to document intelligence and extraction of data, we see different solutions, including OCR in the recent past, have been around for some time, and it has helped organizations also to extract data, digitize documents, but automating end to end, or say understanding documents and creating a streamlined workflow has been a challenge throughout. And we see now say evolution of other solutions like AI-powered intelligent document processing. So today we'll discuss about the limitations OCR has been limitations with OCR that has been there, and how AI-powered IDP is going to solve that or is already solving it. So let's dive in. To help us with this session, to help us unpack the entire conversation, we have Alok, CEO and founder of RPATech. So good morning, Alok.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. And pleasure to be here. And thanks for the opportunity to explain about DocXtract. Let's go.
Sure, Alok. So, Alok, great to have you for the session. We have in the past have had a live session where we had discussed about it. But I feel with the way the speed with which AI is evolving and a lot of evolution around the AI is happening, we need to revisit and see how this space has changed recently. So yeah, so let's again start with the basics. uh, why are we talking about AI powered IDP or AI powered document processing so much now compared to in the past?
Yeah. No, OCR was useful when objective was to convert images to paper into text. Okay. So image paper, scan paper, if it has to be converted into text, OCR was very useful. And that was a big step at that time. But today, enterprises do not just need text with all of the implementation and automation that has been happening. Enterprises have realized that just text is not enough. They need usable data. They need the system to understand the document, identify the right field, validate them, detect gap, and push the information into business process. Volume of documents have also increased. It's not that with the digitization, usage of paper has reduced, but what happened is that the the more extraction that started coming, the more work for the people who were pushing those digital information extracted from paper and images into systems. So a lot of conversion was required. That structured data is the need for today. And for example, any purchase order, you extract it from a traditional OCR, but you need purchase order number, which customer has given that purchase order number, what is the taxation, what is the bank details, references, and line items in useful format. Traditional OCR leaves a lot work after the extraction. Okay, okay. So extraction OCR images to text, but the work after extraction is too much. And where DocXtract is solving, someone has to map these fields, create templates, train the system, and handle every format variations. And there are teams. I have met customers who have made formats for each vendors, and every time there is a variation, they tweak it and fix it. They keep it a team for it. And that is why AI powered document processing has become important. It reduces the dependency on fixed template and document training. The expectation is now the system should understand the document type, understand the context, and return the required data in a structured format.
Thank you, Alok. So just to continue on the same thing, we have seen the evolution of OCR being just a field extraction tool to now getting, say, integrated with working in tandem with the automation workflows. So the
Hmm.
evolution of OCR has also happened, but we are now
Hmm.
seeing the evolution of IDP within the IDP space itself.
Hmm.
So so how can you just take us through a bit about how IDP has become a AI-powered IDP now?
Yeah, so there are different names. Okay, most common people understand is OCR is most common, but different names because of the differentiation between how these things are being processed. Okay, so OCR, traditional OCR, long time ago was just dumping the text. Okay, so what we can say, OCR is text. IDP brings ability to identify uh, the the areas, the fields within the document, but that is also a manual and trainable process. With AI evolution, the AI powered document processing extract meaning from the document. Okay, so AI will help us to identify which field is where and whether that is the real field or not. OCR and IDP can read everything printed on a page, but it may not know which value is a PO number, which value is the identity number, which is the certificate number if we are extracting the certificate, which value is a tax ID, which value is total amount, which value is a tax amount. Okay, and to in past, someone human has to map those in order to make IDP understand whether those values are in line item, where is the table, those things has to be pointed out. With AI, it will be able to understand and figure out. Traditional OCR and many IDP tool also depend heavily on template and training, as I said. If there are 100 vendors with 100 invoice formats, you just imagine how around 10,000 tweaking has to be done. Team may end up creating and maintaining many template. You need a dedicated team all year around. So AI powered document processing should reduce that dependency. It should work at the document type level, not the vendor or format level. So the real difference is OCR IDP give you text, template based IDP give extraction after configuration and training. Okay, so OCR gives you text, template-based IDP give extraction after configuration and training. DocXtract kind of AI-powered extraction engine aims to give you a structured output. So we give JSON from a document type. You just give a document type without creating template for each format.
Yeah, yeah, that kind of takes care of the requirement of dealing with documents or say managing documents in today's businesses.
Yeah.
So just to elaborate on that point, and I have because when I'm thinking about document are the most important part of our businesses today, irrespective of which industry we are talking about.
Mm,
So 80% of the data remains in documents, and documents becomes data, data becomes insights, and insights becomes decision making.
mm,
So, so if we look at that cycle, it is very
mm,
important for us to understand the document in context. Like you mentioned, OCR reads field and reads a paper, extracts data, but it doesn't
mm,
understand what is a PO number. What is
mm,
if, like, say, the field changes, the space changes, there is a little bit of change in the format, then
mm,
it actually gets into trouble.
mm,
So considering that now we are talking about document being very important for all businesses.
mm,
So the one part that we discussed is the technology. Beyond the technology, how in terms of use cases, which
mm,
are the use cases you see IDP being a differentiator, or say AI powered IDP like DocXtract being a differentiator in the in the business world today?
mm. Okay, so if we talk about the use cases, we can see from this perspective that wherever there is a problem of document being required into your workflow, and the workflow requires structured data. Okay. So most of the time, even if your document is semi-structured, it is in the paper or a scanned document or the PDF, you need to convert it so it is the destination, if it is ERP or something, it is feasible. So all the use cases where you need data from one medium to another medium in a structured format, it becomes useful. Okay. So, for example, if we go and talk about more use cases. So, in India, we launched about it is about invoice processing. So, invoice is in account payable is one of the most talked about use cases in document extraction in enterprises. However, why we talk about more? Because it is more of a horizontal process and every organization does that. But like bank statement, checks, identity cards, uh, passports, PAN, purchase order, medical documents, and HR documents. So in case let's you are doing employee onboarding or you're doing customer onboarding or vendor onboarding, in those cases you need documents and then you need extraction for those documents to go into system. So all kind of onboarding which requires document becomes use cases. Then something like KYC, where you have you have to verify documents of customers. Then in those cases, these extraction becomes one of the good use cases. Bank statement, if you are doing bank reconciliation and similar use of bank statement, that becomes a good use cases. Recently we were working with one of the pharmaceutical company, so they create lot of documentation when they do batch processing of a medicine, and there is a requirement of understanding that how whether that batch has been processed well or not. So the quality department needed that extraction. So that is one use case. So manual extraction is slow and error prone. Template based extraction also becomes difficult when document format keep changing. DocXtract help in reducing the setup effort. So instead of creating templates for each vendor type, each document type and format for the model, our models are pre-configured for a particular document type. It extracts commonly required field and returns the structured JSON. This makes it easier for the teams to plug and play the extracted data into their applications, workflows, and automation systems.
Okay. So my next question was on what makes DocXtract different, but I think you have spoken about it just now in in the answer of the previous question. So,
Mm.
but I would like to like say if I have to give 5 pointers
Mm.
on to someone who is asking about DocXtract, how is it different? What are
Mm.
those 5 pointers, Alok?
So main point is what I will say, I've been repeating it, is no, no requirement of templatization. Okay. So that makes it different than any IDP and other things. So it is document type driven, not template driven. Okay. And in many traditional system, you need to create template for each format. And for invoice, for example, for invoice, that often means vendor-wise template creation. One vendor changes the invoice layout, the template may need to be
Yeah.
adjusted.
Yeah.
DocXtract avoid that approach. And like it uses pre-configured model for each document type. The model extracts what people usually need from that document and returns in a structured JSON. So it reduces implementation effort and it also makes solution easier to use for the teams. Core difference is simple. No vendor-wise template, no document training. Document type models are available for everyone. And structured JSON output. So the output itself is universally accepted. Any kind of application that you want to integrate, we are giving you JSON, which can be easily consumed by any application. So that's the standard in the in output. And apart from that, we are also giving various connectors, like even simple things like Google Sheet, Excel, or you are on Zapier and it and UiPath, Power Automate. There are pre-built connectors that you can utilize and build your automation. While some of the traditional IDPs may take month to implement, we say it takes days. Even a few lines of code can be used to integrate with your automation. So those are a few major differentiator from other IDPs and DocXtract.
Sure. So DocXtract, if I can sum it up, so DocXtract doesn't require any format or say template feeding into it, like how a traditional OCR works. Then it reads documents like a human would and extracts say much faster than a human without any error. And then it say validates the data, gives in terms of structured JSON, which can then be integrated to any downstream system. In the integration also, DocXtract has pre-built connectors.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
it solves those problems who the people who uses IDP or wish to use IDP, and they are not able to proceed because they do not have that big team for making those templates, or it doesn't make a cost ROI for them if they create those templates. And many projects fails because of not those template changing. So what we did, that we used our domain knowledge and AI to come up with something that if you know what is the document type, it will able to figure out and give you the fields that you need. We also are using our automation experience here, that let's say if you want to extract a passport, what field typically people need, and in JSON it is already included, so you don't have to even uh, customize the output.
Yeah. Yeah. So now that you have talked about the features of DocXtract and how it is different, so if you have to say um, talk to a CIO or CFO or head of operations in evaluating document processing solution, because there are n number of solutions available in the market from like say even now some of the companies, even enterprises, are doing document extraction manually. Some are ahead in the curve using OCR. Some are already using some AI-powered solutions. So if you have to tell them ways to evaluate or say questions they should ask while evaluating a document processing solution, what would be those?
The simple question they should ask is that how much time it will take to implement it. Okay. What kind of team is required to implement it? Okay. Does it need to be configured for each vendor type, each customer type, each format type or not? And what is the accuracy? When so accuracy has been problem and many IDP has been solving it. However, what kind of document it support, and in which what kind of team is needed to implement it? Do we need to train? Do we need to create template? And do we have to do customization for any integration? How fast the integration is needed? So that may be able to solve answer and all the problems that traditional uh, OCR or IDP might be throwing to you.
Yeah. So just one more last question before
Yeah.
we wrap up the session.
Mm,
So we like I just mentioned in my last point, that we
mm,
see organizations or enterprises being in different stages of the adoption curve
mm,
in terms of document processing. So sometimes there is a sentiment that one should first go from manual to go to OCR, and then from OCR then gradually go to AI powered IDP. Is there a thinking like that you have seen in the market, or people can straight away start their journey with AI powered IDP? They don't have to go through the age old thinking that we have to go one by one. So tech upgrade can happen one by one. So yeah, on that, if you can elaborate.
Mostly if people are today using OCR or IDP, that may be because of lack of awareness. Okay. Not that anybody should be using. So my advice is simple. That do not use traditional OCR. OCR is only for text reading. And if you are using traditional OCR or IDP, you can also migrate. So first, to answer your question, you should be and you can directly go to a AI powered automation. Why? Because this is simpler, easy to adopt.
Yeah.
And the other path is much more difficult to adopt. And so also be careful that with the system that still require habit template creation and document training. So what you will get stuck with those, and you will not know what to do with those templates and training. We have a customer who has been using a traditional IDP, and now they need to figure out that whether all the templates they have created in all those years has been migrated or not. We have been telling you don't need to migrate. If you have a document type, it will it will automatically extract those things and provide directly to uh, where you want in your ERP. However, it becomes challenging when you have a technical debt and then you are migrating, but we make it easier for the customer. So if you are not currently using any IDP and OCR, don't stop at OCR and IDP shop. Directly go to AI powered automation. The future of document type is intelligence. The system should understand the kind of document, extract the fields normally required from it, and return a structured data that your business system can use. And this is the demand that you should ask from any extraction engine today, because AI has come a long way, and now this AI should help you in document extraction. So that is the direction DocXtract is built for.
Yeah. So to conclude, in today's discussion, we highlighted an important shift that we are noticing from OCR to IDP to AI-powered IDP like DocXtract. And like Alok mentioned, document intelligence um, is the way forward. And hence, understanding document, having the solution, having cognitive abilities is going to, and then integration of that with the agents going forward is going to be the game changer. So yeah, so that's something that we will discuss in the future more, and we will have more sessions on this. So coming back to DocXtract is making the transition possible, helping enterprises move from manual effort to intelligent automation through its AI-powered document intelligence, which Alok mentioned, talked about in detail, or the features of it. So yeah, so that's where we are going to talk about more in the future, and more sessions. You can watch the space for more sessions. Yeah. So with that, I would thank you all for joining us, and yeah, thank you Alok for sharing your insights, and thanks
Thank you,
to
Sibani. Thank you, everyone. And it was pleasure speaking here.
thank you so much.
Thanks.